I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
And I'm Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion.
Of course, I'm a little more famous than Brad, but we won't argue about
Well, you're
that.
taller than I am, though.
Yeah.
Okay, the subject today, Bob. I want to talk about retroverted hips. Or just the fact, oh, Nancy's writing something down here. Hold on, people.
Oh, you wanted to show something?
Yeah, I want to show something. Yeah, let's go down to the feet, because I don't want to get watered down with the terminology. But people that stand like this, a lot of times I have patients that come in and say, my son or my daughter or my spouse or even about themselves, my feet are like all this. Is there something I can do to correct it? I think I've got a problem because my toes are out normally. So I want to talk about why that can be, and is it a problem? Should you do something about it, or just leave it alone because that's the way you normally are? So if we start...
I wonder if I could say something, Brad.
You bet.
A lot of children start off that way to give themselves more balance.
Sure.
So I mean, it's a typical development pattern is where
Yeah.
they're going to start off with their feet out, you're going to give them a little more balance. And generally they just grow out of it, basically.
Right.
They develop, and if they don't, there may be something structurally that's causing them
Right.
to be that way.
Right.
Is that where you're headed with this?
Right, so yeah, I'm going into the structural part. And the reason I do this, because for me to stand like this is very comfortable. As a matter of fact, to go like this, if I could balance, I don't have any problem putting my toes straight out. It's not uncomfortable to speak of, it's just awkward because my
And
balance.
I can't.
You can't do
No,
that?
I can't get that far.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And my both my brothers stand like this and my father stands like that. Walking through the snow, if there's 3 people walking, usually you know which one is my footprints because my toes are all like this in the snow. And it's the same with all the males in my family. So I don't know if it's a male thing or not, but that's just the way it is in my family.
It's a penguin thing, I think. But
Don't give me that. Let's get on with the subject here. All right, so as far as bony causes, it can be the hip, where the hip is connected here and the bone is actually from here up. Everything down here might be in line, but from here, it rotates everything else out. Okay, and if it is the way the bones are actually growing, you can try and strengthen some muscles to make the foot go straight forward, but then the hip won't be in line with the socket as far
yeah,
as...
you're going to be fighting it all
Right.
the time. It's just
You're
not
actually
gonna be
fighting nature to try to make the perfect anatomical person when their natural posture is this way. The other thing it could be is what we call tibial torsion, okay, where the tibia actually is growing in a way that it's rotated, and so everything up in here might be in that anatomical perfect alignment, but
Right.
down here it's rotated. But one way or another, whether it's here or here, and if it's bony, a bone structural problem, you're not going to correct it. You don't want to try to correct it. You just leave it alone. And in my case, I'm sure that's what it is. I'm never going to try to go like this. I know when I run, my toes automatically go forward, okay, as opposed to this
They
way.
do?
Yeah, and it's just normal.
You're not turned out at all.
No, that feels good. But when I walk, it's like this. And
As for a runner, it is somewhat critical, because if you can correct it, you want to, because you're losing that
Right.
inch or two with every step, and it adds up after time.
Sure.
And
Yep.
so,
yeah, that's kind of, and I do think about that when I run, but I never did earlier in my life until I got to be a therapist. But and sure enough, it straightens out nicely. So the big thing is now, I think, Trent, why don't you come in? Trent is a physical therapy student from University of La Crosse, and we were talking about this earlier. And his natural stance is like this. His left foot is nearly in that normal straight ahead position, but his right foot, and you said this has been this way all your life?
Mm-hmm.
Out to the side, and when you walk, does it stay that way or does it straighten? Do you notice that?
It'll stay out. I think we measured it was about 12 degrees or so.
Okay.
Turned out.
And what about when
so
you run?
it was just one side is 12 degrees out, and the other side is
The
not.
other side is fairly straight, yeah.
Okay.
So you measured this with
In
some
class,
yep.
yep.
So with some instruments, so you're getting
Mhm.
accurate. When you run, does it stay that way, or do you straighten out? Have you ever?
I think it straightens out pretty well. It might if I'm not paying attention, start to
Sure.
deviate. I haven't noticed too much though.
Okay. It'd be something when you do run.
Sure.
Take a look at that. It's kind of fun. I think it's, as a therapist, I'm sure you'd be interested in that.
Right.
Did they just measure it I mean, did they lay you down and try to determine what position your hip was in actually, or did they actually just measure it out?
What we did actually is barefoot, we stepped into a bucket of water
Okay.
and then walked on paper.
I gotcha.
And then we measured just kind of the angle of the foot going out with like a goniometer to.
Okay, because there's actually a test you can do to try to determine if it's bony versus muscular.
Right.
And it's pretty complicated. I mean, it's beyond the scope of this video, but that's why I was wondering if you did that. But apparently not. You just measured to see how much it is sticking out.
Sure.
The other one.
So as an overview, Bob, I don't know what you think about this, but
Thanks.
typically what I tell my patients is if you have no symptoms and you've been this way all your life and there's no problem with walking or, balance or that kind of thing, you're probably going to be just fine.
And
Don't worry about
this
it.
is something for the students to learn too, is that when you get an elderly patient and they're walking in the clinic, and if it is something that they've done all their life, you don't try to correct it. As students, we're always trying to correct everything. But, that you can ask them, have you always turned your feet out? And they said yes. You don't try to get them to walk toes straight forward, because I've seen students do that. Maybe after a surgery, because of weakness, they may turn a leg out, and because they want more stability, and then you may want to work on straightening it. But
Yeah.
for parents, it's something, don't worry about it, just let it go. If it's going to correct itself, it's going to correct itself by itself.
Right.
I know they used to have kids ride trikes, because they would straighten them out a little bit, but to be honest, they'll straighten out on their own if it's going to be, so.
There's exceptions. I had one patient that she had surgery for that, but it's very rare, and there was a lot of other things going on with that.
Sure.
But if you ask your doctor, they'll say, just let them play and have fun. That's the muscles will take care of it, the natural growth process.
Got enough things to worry about.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that, so.
So, anything else, Bob, about retroversion?
No, but I was going to say something about the heart, We can fix just about anything, but we can't fix.
Broken heart.
Brad loves that line. Thanks a lot.